Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. My name is Doug Brunke. I'm the founder and CEO of Global Chamber. A couple things that we are really dedicated to. Number one is our members. Our members are our life source. They provide us the financial support and the inspiration to continue to move forward. I'm the founder of Global Chamber, and what got me going originally were exporters who failed. And conversely, those that succeeded were a constant inspiration. The ones that fail, and there's too many of them still, is because the business is tough. Global business is harder. And so we've got to find ways to get information in the hands of entrepreneurs and businesses, business leaders to be more successful. We don't always know what we don't know. And that's troubling. We also sometimes run into issues and problems and because we don't work with the right people. And so a lot of our focus is around identifying new opportunities. There's a million of them, and then creating an ecosystem that is trustworthy. I was mentioning yesterday to the Global Chamber Los Angeles Advisory Board that we don't accept members that don't have a LinkedIn profile. So if we do run into someone who's interested in joining, we have a serious conversation about having them fill out a profile because we want transparency. We want, if someone's going to lie about their background, you better put it up online so that you're going to box yourself into a corner. There are people that we've run into over the years that have been problematic, a few, a handful, and we've eased those folks out. But a lot of what we do is vetting and checking and making sure that the people that show up as members and as speakers are trustworthy. Continue to check. I'm from New York, and I got to tell you, New Yorkers are skeptical about everybody, and so naturally we're just skeptical. I'm also an engineer, and I think engineers also are pretty skeptical about things until you can really know and trust. And so that's all a preamble for both Global Chamber and our speaker. Mohammed is someone that you can trust, and I can tell you that because he shows up all the time in a trustworthy way. We've known him through the Turnkey Network, the Turkey group that Rashid Kuskaya has started, someone that I also trust. He has developed, Mohammed has developed a trusting relationship with Rashid. And subsequently, over the months that we've known each other, Mohammed has demonstrated knowledge, a capability, a professionalism, and a level of trust that makes us very comfortable. Today, we're going to be talking about Iraq and may not be something, in fact, I'm not sure we've ever had a conversation about the opportunities there, but why not pick Mohammed to kick that off because he knows Iraq inside and out. He's from Kirkuk. I'm sure we'll be hearing a little bit about Kirkuk and other opportunities across the country. Without further ado, Mohammed, Mohammed Omar, thank you for speaking today. The conversation will be about 25 to 30 minutes. Then we'll have time for Q&A and we'll wrap up at 5 minutes before the hour. Is there anything that I got wrong in the introduction?
Thank you very much, Doug, for your kind words, and I appreciate opening this platform for us. And it has to be first, sometimes every day when you are looking for new opportunities. So that's why we named this uh, presentation. The I would like to open the slides. So let's see if I will be successful. Can you see it? Is
Chances
it
are you will, and it's starting to load. And and it has loaded. Congratulations.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much. Thanks again.
Yes.
Everyone has been joined our Globinar, which is Talk Iraq, exploring opportunities and empowering growth. To be honest, Doug, for the last meetings that I have been participating with the Global Chamber, the world is going crazy, as you mentioned. It's very difficult when it comes to global. And amazingly, in this time, Iraq is experiencing a very unusual growth and stability. So, my name is Muhammad Omar. I am from Kirkuk, Iraq. I have experience almost 2 decades in import-export business. My specialty is between Turkey and Iraq. And also, I have been in China and Europe. So, our family, we come from an industrial family. We have an ice cream factory and a bread factory in Kirkuk. So, and also in the 90s, we started in the uh, real estate businesses. So, first, before I start, I would like to thank everyone who have are here, especially Tamara Hussein. She is also an Iraqi living in Baghdad, and we are working together in some of the projects. So, uh, let's see. So, the subject for today is banking and digital transformation and payments and fintech solutions. Why I chose this subject first? Because it is the infrastructure when it comes to global trade and also the trade in general, inside and globally. So this is the first subject that we would like to talk about Iraq when it comes to development. But I would like to go to the next slide. Iraq in numbers. So the population in 2024, Iraq has reached over 45 million, and imports are over 85 billion US dollars, and exports are 115 US billion US dollars. So we have a trade balance plus 30 billion. So the import export, we don't have deficits, we have surpluses. So it is the oil that is giving us these advantages. And GDP per capita in 2023 was 5,000 USD, and the average salary monthly in Iraq between 500 and goes up to 2,400 US dollars. Now, this is a real question a person from Iraq has asked me when we were traveling in Turkey. What do all these banks do? So it means that Iraq didn't have an existing banking system. So when did it change? I think we can look at it. The date in 2023 was very important because before year 2023, Iraq's economic system was running through foreign exchange offices. I don't know if any of you heard about the Hawala system, which is small offices. A few people are working, and they are exchange offices, and as well they are very effective. They have a very good network for money trans how you say transferring money globally. So almost all the economy of Iraq was through this system. But it changed after 2023 when the Central Bank of Iraq and also the US Fed have decided to give Iraq access, limited access for the paper currency, and also giving the digitalizing the US dollars in Iraq. So this is a very important turning point from business point of view because Iraq almost all the economy was off the record. So uh, now the Iraqi central bank and the US, and there is an international pressure for the Iraqi to have, how you say, uh, business on record businesses. So every developed country has this, so Iraq should be also part of that. So how did this banking reforms will work in Iraq? Because the tax system is not very effective, and you need to give some kind of initiative for the businesses to be willing to be on record and how you say do their business properly. So the central bank of Iraq has gave a fixed rate for the US dollar as 1.32, which is a fixed official exchange rate from the central bank. But we also have a black market, as I mentioned, at the currency exchange offices, which is variable. In this time we have done this presentation, it was 1.55, now it's 1.44. It is changing. So this is a good initiative for the businesses to transfer to the on-record economy. So what does this affect, especially for the global trade? The condition you get access for the cheap US dollars from the central bank, you need to you need to, how you say, worth this value. Either you are going abroad, you are getting access to this rate, and also if you are an importer from Iraq and you are importing products, so the central bank will give you access for the cheap US dollars. So this is a very good margin for the businesses, especially exporters, to have access 20% net profit from what already we have the price on the market. So this started this started, how you say, businesses to start companies and also register their business to get access to this cheap currency. And also, to have this kind of system, you need banks. So banking system started to roll on. And the Central Bank of Iraq has started to get applications to start banks and payment systems also for the businesses. So this is, by the way, I don't know if you are aware of a very globally recognized Zuha Hadid. She's from Iraq originally and architect in the UK. Before she dies, she designs this building, which is in the heart of Baghdad, and it is a state-of-the-art design, and it became now a symbol of the city and of Iraq right now. So now the most powerful institution in Iraq is the Central Bank of Iraq, because the money is there, they giving access to the businesses who are on record, would like to work properly. But it was difficult. Before 2023, we had only few government banks, maybe five or six, but now, according to recent sources, Iraq has seven government state-owned banks, 24 local commercial non-Islamic banks, and 29 local Islamic banks, and 18 branches of foreign banks are operating in Iraq right now. And that's why I chose the first subject of talk about Iraq, about the payment system, because you see it is unrelative. You are thinking old-fashioned trade and how, but the reform started right since 2023. So that is why I started to want to start this Talk Iraq subject with the banking system. And there is a company I would like also to share it with you, just to say how big the economy. In 2007, this is the key card system, key services, was established and started to give the salary for the government employees and retired citizens. And now this company is a multi-billion dollar company, and they have over 12, maybe 13 million users. Maybe this will be a news for you because you never thought that Iraq will have this kind of digitalized customers and potentials when it comes to digital banking. And after this company, the next one that has a license for digital payment came after a decade from 2007. So it wasn't very active. And this is the company that had worked with the government owned banks. Now in Iraq, we have 17 licensed payment system service providers and also around 15 additional licenses for digital wallet. So it is growing fast. It is very rapidly growing, and we are not ready, actually, the infrastructure, the demand. This is very new, and the customers are not used to digitalized economy, but it is growing anyway. So we have to be a part of this revolutions when it comes to digital banking. So you say how big it could be. As I mentioned, the government is very strict when it comes to go digital in this institution. So every ministry and every government institution has to go digital. I'm not sure, but there is an example in other countries. But if you want to buy gas from a government-owned station, you need to pay digitally. It is cashless right now. So it means the government system is going digitally all the way from how you say traffic tickets and any kind of government transaction is going digitally. So maybe you think, okay, it's only government are pushing this agenda. Not quite, because now even barbershops in Iraq, they have to have some kind of POS payment system to operate. This is a must. So, for example, now even in 2025 in Turkey, you don't have to have a digital payment system in barbershops or other, which is Turkey is famous for its banking system and digitalizing the society. So this is how you say, the regulations are preparing Iraq to go fully digital. So this is also one of the points that I wanted to mention, which is very extreme, I think, but it shows us how it will going to be in the future. And also in 18th of September this month, the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, Mohammed Shia Sudani, has also signed the law for digital signature, e-signature, which is also a very substantial step for digitalizing economy, how this go. And also, I'm sorry, for data centers and specialized training. And so this is also a very good turning point for us. Okay, let's come back to us. What are we doing? I am mentioning this kind of information, why I would like to inform the members of Global Chamber this information. We are a market entry strategy. We are providing companies and businesses market entry strategy if they have a chance to work and operate in Iraq. We are providing commercial contracts if you have a business and you would need to have it secured under contract, so we can provide you also with that. Local business network. uh, Hopefully Global Chamber will be one of the network that active in Iraq, in each city in Iraq. So I am working on that, finding people are English speaking and involved in the business, so we will have a huge potential also to network with each other and also globally, uh, to also provide the local demands in regional focus. So I was talking about the digitalization of the currency in Iraq and this business more than a year ago. Now it started to come in life. So also investment opportunities. Right now, today, are I think the second day in an event in Baghdad, which is called ITEX. It is a technology trade show. All over the country, digital services and internet providers, everything digital, they are having right now a trade show in Baghdad, which was for me some kind of dream. I never thought that this will happen in my lifetime. So this is a very good event. So what kind of companies are we representing right now? We are representing many deal-based companies. If you have an order and we are going to give them services, both sides, the buyer and the seller. But for a long term, we are representing a Turkish digital transformation company, which is provides an e-government and digital solutions. And tomorrow we are traveling to Baghdad, and a team of 5, and we are going to meet with some institutions, private and governmental, to see how the digitalization are going. And also I am representing an American investment fund. So they are willing to invest in projects in Iraq which has potentials, because as I mentioned, the globally recognized economy in Iraq is new, and we are discovering it, like we are taking baby steps right now. But in the futures, the environment is very, how you say, uh, fruitful to have projects excel very fast. Because as I mentioned, Iraq has a potential. Iraq is not like other Gulf countries, which they have a very small population and the economy is limited. Iraq has huge potential. And I didn't want to go another subject when it comes to global trade and construction and also the healthcare sector, but I just wanted to have it in digitalizing. So, is there a law in Iraq? Yes, of course. And very close, we are working very closely with Marsalo Global. They have a global branch. They are representing uh, embassies and also international companies. If you have interest, would like to be informed if your business are allowed in Iraq, if you can operate in Iraq, so feel free to contact them. We are working very closely. We're almost emerging, because we need to do things right, also to doing the right things. So some people are very excited and they go over this step. they don't protect themselves legally. So they will say, we lost money in Iraq, we did so on and so on. So you need to have also legal services. So this is one of the recommendation that I always do tell the companies, especially large contractors. So, as Doug said, we will finish up with some information about Kirkuk. Kirkuk is located in the north of Baghdad and south of Kurdish region of Iraq. It is belonging to as a government to the central government of Baghdad, and also this is our international business center that we are going to open in the beginning of next year. So this is the business center. This is a building in the downtown Kirkuk, and it's a seven-store shopping mall. And we are not just planning to provide physical space for the companies who want to be present there. Also, this is the top two floors that we are uh, uh, filling it with companies and businesses, maybe mostly from Turkey, maybe from other part of the world. And how can you travel to Kirkuk? We have since 2022 an international airport. From what when I go from Ankara to Kirkuk, it takes less than 2 hours, maybe one and a half hour. So it's a very convenient to travel. Some locations in Turkey, if you don't have airports, it will take longer time for you to travel. But in Iraq, it's not only Kirkuk. We have Baghdad, we have Basra, and soon Mosul also will have airport. So traveling is much easier. But also, if you are over 50, you need to get a visa to go to Iraq. So if you are under 50, I'm sorry, if you are under 50, you need to get a visa. If you are over 50 years old, you don't have to get visa from Turkey, at least. How travel works. I think I have passed the 30-hour mark, 30-minute mark. So if you have any questions, and I will be more than happy to answer, and hope give you a different point of view of Iraq. As I mentioned, this is digitally, this information most digitally, but when it comes to construction and development there, so it is much more, how you say, project. The most important of the project is the Iraqi Development Road, which will connect Basra, FAO, Grand FAO port to Europe. So this is one of the. Thank you very much. If you have anything, Doug, to ask, I will be more than happy.
Sure, that's great. I haven't seen any questions yet, but I'll give people a couple minutes to generate those. While we're waiting, could you just explain a little bit about your background?
My background, as I mentioned, uh, I was born in Kirkuk and left Iraq when I was 17 years old. Lived in Turkey for a year and got the opportunity to study in Sweden. So I speak four languages: Arabic, English, Swedish, and Turkish. After the dictatorship in Iraq, I returned back home. I was thinking that what is happening now is going to happen in 2003. But I was very optimistic because it took over 20 years for us to put, how you say, to fix things up. So uh, I got married and left Iraq in 2007 because of my children. I wanted my children to have a chance for a good education. So I relocated again in Ankara. At the same time, I started running my family business, the factory, and our needs from orders from coming from Iraq to organize them and send them truck-based to Iraq. So that's why it started the way I started my career. And as I mentioned, now I am exploring the digital world that we are representing. At the same time, the projects and the orders are continuing working with the trade between Turkey and Iraq. So that's my background.
Okay.
Is there
How would
anything that, yeah.
I was just going to ask, how would you describe the stability of the government today in terms of a business entering Iraq and coming in? Is it possible to do foreign direct investment? Is it advised to do foreign direct investment? And what's the overall environment?
Last week, Toyota has started opening its not manufacturing, but maintenance and a huge investment. China is very aggressive when it comes to investing in Iraq. So there is a direct foreign investor. I think now Iraq is in the top five uh, Arabic world are attracting investments because the policy of the government right now are willing to connect Iraq economically to global markets. So it is a very good approach for the how you say policy. If it will continue a couple of years more, we will be the most growing market in the world, maybe. So we are stable right now, and as I mentioned, with the last economic tariffs that going in the rest of the world, Iraq looks more stable than the rest of the world. It is some kind of opposite, how you say, going against the world. It's very growing when it comes to developing infrastructure projects and bridges and how you say. As the policy of our prime minister is laser focused on the infrastructure because Iraq still suffers from energy problem. They cannot catch up. For example, they say we need electricity this amount for the next year, but when the next year comes, it doubled the demand. So this means that the consumptions of energy is growing very rapidly. The government is not able to reach the demand till now. That's why they went to the uh, privatization of the electricity grid. But when it comes to investment, if you are looking in my LinkedIn posts, you can see there is a lot of companies are looking in the Iraqi market because it it is in infant stage.
Got it. Maybe it might be a good idea to unshare what you've got there, even though we like seeing that. It'd be probably better to see your face. And also, if somebody's going to
Ah,
be asking a question, we'd like to see them as well. Great,
yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
You
Sorry.
still, and I encourage the audience to raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask a question. You still do live in Ankara, right?
I
And so
am.
is
I
your
am.
intent to live there long term or living both
No, no.
places?
The thing is, i- for the last 5 6 years, I am traveling between Ankara and Iraq all the time.
Okay,
Last week I was in Iraq, and tomorrow I am going back to Baghdad. So I am traveling. I'm not fixed in Turkey. So a part of the job.
got it. right behind you is something about Talk Iraq. Is that something that is got your name on it? Is that something you're
Yeah,
doing?
maybe I would like to have some kind of conversations regularly if we see this goes for among friends just to share it online. Maybe Talk Iraq, talkiraq.com is it's my domain. So maybe in the future we will have this kind of regular meetings and talk about the market and development. And honestly, Doug, I would like to have to share my opinion. uh, as much as you go global, you will have stability in any country in the world. What we didn't had before, that we were isolated. You couldn't see businesses outside of Iraq. You couldn't. It was difficult. So my mission to have global chamber available in Iraq is to get more connected, to get the, as you mentioned, trusted right people, because also we had a difficult to reach for the right producers, right service providers globally. So we also suffered from that. We couldn't have access to the world. But if you just search now what is going on in Baghdad, how the growth is going, it will be you will be very surprised. I hope I covered the digital world, which is, as I mentioned, it's very broad. But in a couple of years, if we go this way, we will have a lot of companies, maybe unicorns in Iraq, which I showed one of them.
Is there a like a tech incubator community or a startup community, and how do you find that? How do you get connected to that?
Now, Startup Grind has a branch, a chapter in Baghdad now.
Wow.
Uh, Other startup communities also started to open their connections in Baghdad. As I mentioned, we have a very large event in Baghdad right now, which is maybe hundreds of companies digitally are exhibiting their services. And also, we have a co-working space are started to show up. All the startup community, the culture, and but the potential digital in Iraq is huge because when you see food delivery companies in Europe, it's a few, one of them goes by each a couple of minutes. But some of the businesses in Iraq, when it comes to food delivery system, they have hundreds. Delivery guys are waiting just to get the order because the weather is hot, especially for the last few months. People didn't want to go out, so they started use the digital services. By the way, Uber has acquired a company in Iraq called Kareem, which is a very well-known like Uber-like service in Iraq. So we have that also. We have delivery system and yeah.
Where do you see the greatest opportunities in the next few years in terms of infrastructure, in terms of opportunities for foreign firms in Iraq?
As the fourth subject that digital is the number one. I
Okay.
think there is a very good potential because also the government side needs to have those system and the private sector also plus the customers and the penetration of the iPhone smartphone Iraq is huge. Everyone has the latest version of the smartphone in every segment that they are buying. So digital is number one. Of course, construction and infrastructure. Construction companies are racing right now to getting projects in Iraq, which has uh, maybe now tens of hospitals are going to build. And that bring us to the next sector, which is healthcare. Healthcare is a very has suffered Iraq from a bad healthcare system for the last decade or so. So now it's started. The new hospitals is showing up. New technologies are coming. So also healthcare is very good opportunity, and energy. Hopefully, although we are an oil dependent country, but hopefully renewable energy will be a very good potential. They have good potential. And also the policy in Iraq, also the government are encouraging to have solar systems and renewable energy.
You mentioned earlier about Tamra Hussein. What's the relationship that you have on the business side of things?
It's a very recent relationship. She is a very intelligent and a proud Iraqi woman. She is a TV show presenter, and also she works in the Iraqi stock exchange market. So very professional person. So I'm happy that she could participate and take part of this opportunity. And hopefully we will have a big project to work together.
Is there an investment community? Are there investors in Iraq and from outside of Iraq? Are there particular groups of people that are investing in Iraq?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I am representing a fund, a US fund, are looking in projects in Iraq to fund. Also, Iraq's businessman has also large capital, but as I mentioned, we are new in this sector. So the regulations and the banks, imagine the banking system are new in the Iraqi market. So the funds and financing and those kind of services comes after we will have set places, those kind of uh, how you say systems on board.
Understand. Thank you, Tamra, for joining today. Before we end the call, I'd open it up again for any other questions that we might have. I noted that you talked about the startup community, and I don't know, Jim Cook, if there's a incubator or a unicorn coming in out of Iraq, but there's probably one brewing somewhere, and so hopefully we can get you involved there. Do you or anybody else have any questions?
I'll ask one. First of all, it's rather exciting, um, given Iraq's history. It's rather exciting, especially on your and Omar, on the potential and trying to get that potential to reality. And it's going to be a challenge, but I can feel from you, and I assume you're representing Iraq, that it's going to be there. It's just a matter of trying to get it all done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't see any questions, so I don't know why that's the case, but I'm glad we had this opportunity to
I
chat.
think Prabhakar
Doug?
has some.
Yeah,
Oh, does
hi.
oh good,
Hi,
because
Doug.
I was thinking
Yeah,
of you for on the healthcare side. I wondered if you had
yeah. On the
pursued anything.
healthcare side, now, Mohammed, I am very capable of setting up a Greenfield International Standard hospital in Iraq. My son is a medical doctor who trained in Europe for hospital management.
Yeah.
Yeah, he manages a large hospital here, and as his LinkedIn profile also says, he is currently consulting with a 200-bed hospital greenfield. So if any
Mm.
new hospital has to be set up to international standards, we have the knowledge and expertise.
You are welcome.
unexperienced. Yeah.
Right now,
Also, with
yeah.
Iraq, I want to mention that during the time my father ran his business, we exported a concentrate of the tamarind fruit to Iraq.
Hmm.
So in Iraq, I believe it is diluted and you drink it like a juice. Tamarind. You know tamarind?
Tamarindi, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
part of our culture. We have a very uh, influenced
Yes.
from Indian, how you say, gastronomy. We have biryani
Ah,
also in Iraq. We have Iraqi
yes.
biryani. We have
Oh,
all, yeah, the
my
spice.
father set up a business in the 70s, more than
Mm,
50 years ago,
we
that
still,
made a
it's going.
concentrate. Yes, of the Iraqi, we always think about it. Whenever somebody says Iraq, I, I remember, I remember this, that we used to
Yeah,
export that concentrate of the Doug in the US. Doug, you know House of Spices, the Lakshmi brand.
Yes.
I think you know Indian grocery. They
Yes.
distributed this, and I was a US FDA registered plant. For some time, I operated that plant. Now I don't because it's a lot of attention, and somebody has to. If it is a food product, then it manufacturing that requires a lot of attention.
we love
Interesting.
our food. We love our food. No
Yeah,
matter where you come from, I haven't seen. Now, I will share some of the American tourists that are coming to Iraq right now, which is also amazing to see. I don't, you like the weather is hot, I don't, no, but the food,
I know.
everyone loves Iraqi
Yeah,
food.
amazing.
So you will
Very
never be
glad to
hungry.
connect with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. We will keep in touch as we talked
Yes.
before the Globinar. So
Yes.
thank you. So, what do you hope, Doug, to see in the global chamber community in Iraq grow? How we can, if we have a few minutes left, 5 minutes, to talk about your vision to set a network, business network in Iraq.
Well,
I have to say we have difficulty in, we have a language barrier. Most of the businessmen are having difficult time speaking English, so
yeah.
there is this. But what doesn't stop us to network with each other locally, I mean. But when it comes to globally, how do you think global chamber will be effective in Iraq?
Yeah, I'm hoping that fairly soon we'll have these real-time translation tools that will allow us to converse. And so if we develop the communities, and I'd be curious to see what you think. Like today, there were 6 chapters in Scotland that were communicated out that we're covering. In Korea, we originally had, I think, 17 or 18 main metro areas, but we condensed it down to 5 to cover the entire country. Japan, we have 14. So I think for Iraq, one of the first steps is what does a global chamber network look like and where would the chapters logically be? And then let's focus in on creating leaders in each one of those, and with your help and guidance, to be able to be ready, to be able to have local conversations, but also the ability to do something like this, where there's more of a conversation. So we're educating the folks outside of Iraq about what the opportunities are, creating the connections for those
Yeah.
next steps to happen, and then encouraging and supporting local people to say, look, we want to attract a foreign direct investment. We want you to be more successful with your products and services outside Iraq, and we're here to support those. So developing those systems would be our vision.
Yeah. I will hope to have at least 4 chapters in Iraq. Of course, starting from Kirkuk and maybe one in Erbil and Basra, and the most important is Baghdad. So hopefully we will succeed in the next few months to have some, even if it will be close community or small community we will have, and also share the benefit to be a part of being global presence in this kind of organizations.
Okay. Oh, that sounds good. I know as part of our 525 chapter development, and we're about to announce that it's 605. Although now with these new ones in Scotland, there were, I think, two or three I hadn't heard of that we were going to have, but that was an exciting development. Over the years, there have been few cities that I didn't know where they were. So I saw the name, but I didn't really know. One was Ouagadougou,
In
Burkina
Africa?
Faso.
Oh, okay.
So that I personally don't have a lot of experience in Africa prior to Global Chamber. I was mainly Asia and, Europe and Middle East and Americas and Australia, of course, but not so much in Africa. So I learned a lot about some of the cities. So Ouagadougou was one. Erbil is also one that we actually early on had someone who is based there.
I
I'd like to
noticed
know who that was.
it was listed on
Yeah.
the Global Chamber website. It
We,
was yeah.
It was one of the early Facebook pages, and I
Mm.
don't remember who that was, but I think maybe Cesar knows, and we probably need to look at it. So if we focus in on Kirkuk and Erbil and Basra and Baghdad and
Yeah.
think about those, what our next steps would be in identifying people and leaders who are open to doing this kind of thing. It's not normal because this is not a normal process of a local company reaching out and being connected to other people, especially across a different language. So we run into that with Japan quite a bit. So hopefully, with your help, we'll be able to make some next steps. What would, in terms of a next Globinar, could you talk a little bit about that and then make any other final comments?
Thank you again. My next is I think it will be construction and infrastructure,
Okay.
which is a huge right now. The recent visits in Baghdad, the whole city is a construction site. So we will take a look at that, the projects they are building. So we will look at that next time, hopefully, and see I will have some kind of interesting project, and I hope it will be eye-opening and I don't want to have Iraq is limited only to the Middle East. I want Iraqis will have access to whole global networks like Global Chamber. So yeah, we will take construction and infrastructure.
Fantastic. No, that sounds great. Thank you for taking the time today. Great
Thank you.
conversation. Great information.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity.
Our next conversations today are about the law. Whoops, I'm hearing some echo. I'm not sure why. Is that me? Let's see. It may be me. Oh, it is me. Yeah. Somehow I unmuted myself.
Yeah.
So the next one is what's up with global law, that it starts, let's see, in how long? In about an hour? About 30 minutes, actually. No, the League of Extraordinaries is in 30 minutes. And then the what's up in global law is in 2 hours. And then we did have a Global Chamber Phoenix event last Friday that we moved forward. There was a conflict that we discovered at the last minute, a local conflict with another organization. So we moved the Global Chamber Phoenix meetup to 12 noon local time, which is in 4.5 hours. That one is kind of important from the standpoint of the semiconductor industry. As many of you know, Phoenix, there's a huge foreign direct investment, over $60 billion investment by TSMC. There's already investment by Intel, significant foreign direct or investment, not foreign direct investment, by Intel. So we have an event on October 6th that is prior to Semicon West that will be talking about the global aspects of the semiconductor industry, particularly Mexico. So there's three big events coming up other than our Globinars. On the 5th of October, we have an important commercial real estate announcement with Global Chamber, and I'll be in Vancouver, Canada, making that announcement. The next day, on the Monday, is the 6th. Members are invited to attend that semiconductor event in person or virtually. And then on the 8th of October, we have an important trade mission from the Middle East into London, and we'll have more announced on that in the next couple days. But Zainab Al-Karo, for Global Chamber Executive Director in London, will be making that announcement in the next couple days. I think there's about 40 to 45 companies that are involved in that trade mission that we're doing with several other groups. Thank you so much, Mohammed.
Thank you for giving the opportunity.
It's been great to talk Iraq today. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everybody.
Doug, and thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We will keep
Bye.
in contact.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Thank you all.